Hi, we're here with Karen Dolan, who's the Director of Fund Analysis for Morningstar. No one knows better than Karen how the experts at Morningstar choose mutual funds, so let's talk about that today. Karen, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Eric.
Now, everyone thinks that the way to pick mutual funds is to see which funds have the highest Morningstar star rating. In fact, Morningstar has never claimed that the star rating has predictive value. Where Morningstar tries to predict which funds will do better is in its fund analyst picks. So let's talk about that. Now, there are specific methodology to how you arrive at analyst picks. Could you give me some examples?
There are, and some of the things that go into the star rating we do consider. Really, the star rating is risk-adjusted returns versus peers that do similar things. So performance and the risk taken to achieve those returns are one component of our analyst picks. However, it's about, can you sustain it? Why has the performance been what it's been? And in order to really get to the bottom of that, our analysts are thinking about who's the management team? Who are the people who are running the money, making the decisions on a daily basis? What are their skill sets? What are they good at? So understanding the people behind the process is key. Understanding the process is key. Most processes sound good in writing, but they don't always materialize into actually good results. And so we really spend a lot of time trying to understand what is the team trying to do and are they doing it well. We think a lot about who the parent company is. What is this fund family good at? Where are its strengths? Where are its weaknesses? Do shareholders, the investors in those funds, do they rank pretty high on the totem pole, or is this a fund company that's a little bit more in it for their own interests? And so we really try to find companies that are good stewards of capital. So it's a combination of all of those things, and then you package it together. You have to think about the price. How much does an investor have to pay to get access to all of this? And it's the mosaic of all of those, all of that information and all of that research. And the funds, you know, we study 1,800 of them, and of that grouping, the ones that we have the most conviction in, the ones that really pass with flying colors on all of those scores, are our analyst picks.
Okay. And are you looking for the analyst picks to outperform indexes, or are you looking for them to deliver reliable, steady, as promised returns?
It is a combination of both. We do have an expectation that the kinds of attributes we're looking for do lead to better risk-adjusted returns. So absolutely we want them to perform better, not just on a relative basis. Sometimes our picks will lag in a really, really hot market, but they're taking a lot of risks to do that. But over a long period of time, good markets, bad markets, we want our picks to be the ones on top over those long stretches. We think about the absolute risks too, because if there's a fund that's taking on a lot of risk, can blow somebody up in a year or 2 years, investors can't really withstand that, and so we really do try to avoid the funds that can really be difficult for investors to use.
Yeah, okay, all right, good. So let's use some examples. Let's put some flesh on the theory. In core equity categories, what would be a good example of a fund analyst pick right now?
One great example was actually our fund manager of the decade, Bruce Berkowitz, the Fairhome Fund. Here is a fund where he's a stock picker at heart. He really goes in, he understands the balance sheet, he looks for things like free cash flow, really likes to understand what the management's doing, and he is investing like an owner. He does trade though. It's not like he's going to own companies. He owns some companies for 10 years, but he doesn't own them all. He really tries to get in when the valuations are good, hold on until the ad opportunity has played out, and then he finds new opportunities. So he likes to get into a lot of contrarian areas of the market, and he's done very well with it over time.
So that's an example of a large cap core equity holding. How about a fixed income fund?
One of the fixed income picks that we have is Harbor Bond. So the fund itself may not sound too familiar, but it's run by PIMCO and Bill Gross, who I think we all know is the bond king. And the reason we've made the Harbor Bond fund the pick is because it's a lot more inexpensive and accessible to the mass market. And so this is a way for investors to get access to Bill Gross and to his strategy in a much, much lower cost
So the fund is basically identical to the PIMCO Total Return Fund.
Pretty much. I mean, there will be some differences because of cash flows in and out, so he's not always going to be buying and selling the same securities, but yes, it's very, very, very similar.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Karen, thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Eric.
And thank you for watching.